I love all that. I love all of it. Good day, everybody. Good day and happy Sunday. Happy Sunday. Welcome to Living Life in Joy. I am Rev Melissa. I am an ordained interfaith minister. I'm a religious science practitioner, a spiritual life coach, and the spiritual director, senior minister at Rockland Centers for Spiritual Living in New York. And I say all of that is my ministry of joy, where I support people in living life in joy, connected to their yes. So this show is a platform, a vehicle to connect with people who are connected to their yes and share that in the world, right? Share that in the world. So I have an amazing guest today, and I cannot wait for you all to meet her. But we have been celebrating June in a magnificent way because my husband, Marco Nobles, who is the co-founder of Enjoy Enterprises and creator, architect of Rhythm and Soul Radio.com, is curating all of the shows this month. So when he told me he got this guest, I was like, oh, yes, honey. Thank you so much. I'm so excited. You can check out Marco Nobles every single day, 24/7 on Rhythm and Soul Radio, where he is supporting independent artists who are certainly connected to their yes. So if you want to hear music that you won't necessarily hear on mainstream radio, go to rhythmandsoulradio.com and you will hear something you probably never heard before. So we kicked off the month with Marco. He was my first guest for June. And then last Sunday, we had the amazing Adina Nairi and Lorenda Robinson. They are both singer songwriters. They are also the co-founders of Pi Fest, PIFEST, which stands for Pay It Forward Eclectic Soul Tour. And so they will be celebrating by having an annual benefit. This year is an intimate garden series of live jazz and soul music. You can get tickets and find out who's on the lineup by going to pifest.org. The event is also benefiting another organization of the arts, Chevin Foundation for the Arts. That's so wonderful. So we're going to continue. We're going to continue with our Black Music Month celebration. Also, happy Father's Day. Today is Father's Day. And today we are celebrating Juneteenth. It is June 19th. We're celebrating Juneteenth. Can you see my t-shirt? Yes, we were not free on July 4th, 1775. That's a big old lie. It is Juneteenth, and Google it if you're not familiar. All right, that's a whole nother show. So without further ado, let's ready, set, go. All right, welcome back to Living Life in Joy. I am Rev Melissa, and it is my pleasure to introduce my guest today. Her name is KelliSae. She is New York born and raised award-winning performer, singer, songwriter, composer, comedian, and playwright. She's born of Puerto Rican and African descent. Her music is a masala of sound, cultures, and influences that drive her instincts. Listen to the folks she has worked with: Tina Turner, Paul Simon, Shaka Khan, Eddie Palmieri, I might be saying his name wrong, La India, Patti LaBelle, Gladys Knight, Lionel Richie, Angelique Kidjo, Sheila E., Eric Gadd, Ashford and Simpson. I could go on and on and on. It's a list, y'all. It's a list. She's also the creator of her one-hit, one-woman show, Disco, Dicks, and Dykes. And I have seen it, and it is amazing. It is amazing. It has received rave reviews, and we'll be talking about that today also. KelliSae has released 3 solo albums independently on her own. Kelli, when you come on, you have to tell me the pronunciation of your label. But I want to say Quirk Arts Group Entertainment Label. In between those albums, Kelli has recorded and been featured on countless records. She's also the principal vocal Monday nights. She's also principal vocalist Monday nights on ABC's hit reality TV show, Dancing with the Stars, where she is one of the principal vocalists. She's also been on other television shows. She's worked on I Can See Your Voice, Rising Star as a vocal coach, and The Singing Bee. In Kelli's spare time, I don't know how she has spare time doing all that she does, but in her spare time, she's a vocal coach, mentor, and public speaker. She enjoys connecting with people and the next generation of artists coming up in the industry. Kelli says, it's an honor to pass along my knowledge and experience. And I'll close with this. It's a quote from Billboard magazine. They say, the depth and realness of her performance and songwriting is undeniable and downright intoxicating. You are pulled into Sae's world within seconds. And I can also testify to that. So without further ado, please welcome to Living Life in Joy, KelliSae.
Hi.
Hi.
What an introduction. I was like, oh boy. I did that? I did that too?
Yes, girl, that's you. You did that. You did
You
all
don't
of that.
realize it. Thank you. Thank you first for having me. I'm a big fan of yours too, and of your husband's, Marco Noble. I've known him for so many decades, dare I say. And I'm just really it's beautiful that you two have such a wonderful unity with your family. It's gorgeous. And you both are so giving to the community. And I wanna honor you both also for your the kind of contribution you make, to our, to the business, to entertainment, and to us independent artists. It's a huge deal. So thank you both.
Oh, thank you, Kelli. It's my pleasure. And I'm just thrilled because I'm a big fan of yours.
Thank you.
So let's start. Let's start with the journey. All of us have a testimony. So please share a little bit of your testimony of what led you to be the dynamic artist that you are.
Wow, thank you. I don't know that I'm a dynamic artist or that that's something I set out to be. I don't even have that in my thought process. I just am a little bit intrigued by many different artistic mediums, and that kind of guides my path. I don't try to limit myself, which is why I write crazy things, which brings me back to the label's name. Quirk is quirk because quirk, that's the proper spelling for quirky, like quirk. So it's more because I'm a little bit left of center. I'm a little kooky. Everybody knows me, knows I'm a little out of it. And so, and I think that's kind of how the journey, I just kind of go with the flow with it all, and just kind of, today it's painting, tomorrow it's, writing a play, and the next day it's, maybe a book, or maybe, so, and that's kind of how I live. I just let my creativity speak to me, and then I listen and just follow through.
So Kelli, was that the case when you were a little girl?
Yeah, I think so. That's so funny. I have a wife. Her name is Flo. She's amazing. And yesterday we were just talking about when I was little, I would be on the subway with my mom, and I would just stand there screaming Stevie Wonder's "My Cherie Amour," like la 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 la, just screaming it, with just out of my mind with this kind of and then at the same time I was a gymnast, and so I think that all those things, and I had parents that really let me just kind of do my thing, and they didn't
Mhm.
put restrictions on me. And I think that's probably a good thing for somebody like me.
Yes, yes, absolutely, absolutely. So you mentioned that you're doing a lot of things. And one of the things I would like to explore with you is, we celebrate these months, so this month we're celebrating Black Music Month, we're celebrating Pride Month. Um, Today is Juneteenth and
Yeah.
Father's Day and all of those things. And so as an artist, what does Black Music Month mean for you?
Wow, I feel like it should just be Black Music Year. It's like month, it should be years. It's like I don't think it's enough to scratch the surface,
Yep.
honestly. And I feel like it's kind of like the foundation of all the styles of music, pretty much. So
Hmm.
I think that a lot more homage needs to be paid in general.
Yes, absolutely. I agree and concur with that 100%.
Mhm.
So you're an independent artist. And so some folks who are watching Living Life in Joy might not understand what that means. So share a little bit of what that's like for you being an independent artist.
Yeah. Well, I gotta say, being independent, I was independent before it was cool to be independent, before
Mm,
it was even a thing. I was kind of like one of the first ones out there. I'm dating myself a little bit with that. But it all came about when I was looking for a record deal and everybody was telling me no. And I was selling out my shows, and people were coming to hear me, and they would say, "Where can I get your record?" And I was like, "Oh, I don't have one. I don't have one." And that's how it kind of was born. And from that I decided that I was just going to take matters into my own hands. And I started, and this is way before you had a big like a pressing plant. I had two. Hey, you. It's funny. I'm up here because I have two dogs, and normally they'd be all on top of me too. I was like, "Oh my god, you want it? You want it?"
Kelly, let me tell you something.
Yeah.
This cat has been upstairs this whole time. And for some reason, this has happened the last couple of shows. Like as if on cue, he comes downstairs and jumps on my lap.
Yeah, he's like, I want to be in on it.
I want to meet Kelly too.
Yeah. Oh, anyway, so what it ended up happening is I bought two CD burning machines. I bought them, put them side by side, and then I just started pressing all of my CDs myself. Got two
Mhm.
printers and printed out all of my labels. Sat there and arduously cut out every, the cover and the back. Typed out, what the album format was, slipped it on in there, and then I would sell them at my shows, and that's how I became independent originally. And then before I knew it, I went the next step, which was like purchasing my UPC, and then go ahead and incorporating my name and my label and all that, and going and registering it, and and just
Wow.
and that's how it all started. And so there wasn't any of that digital stuff back then, any of those,
Mhm.
kind of ways. And I have to say, and I think that's how I initially met Marco too, is he was one of the kind of first people to, as far as I know, really believe in independent artists and really give them a platform to be
Mhm.
heard and seen too. And that connected us way back then.
Yeah, way back then, way back then. Yeah, absolutely. So I had the pleasure of witnessing you in your one woman show, Disco Dixon Dykes. And it was incredible. It was an experience, y'all. It was an experience.
Thank you.
I felt like I needed, when you go to the amusement park and they put you in a harness so you could stay put, that's how I felt. I was just like all over the place because
Thank
you take
you.
us on a ride. It is an experience. So
Thank you.
tell me a little bit about the show and when people can start to witness and experience that again.
Right. And thank you for saying all of that. And that's an interesting thing because a show like this, really you have to be prepared to bare your soul in, because it's
Mhm.
my life story kind of set to music, just in your face. I don't hold anything back, and it just goes from like the time I'm 14 to present day. Now, the version you saw, I stopped at about 20 or 22 or something like that,
Mhm.
because I hadn't quite yet narrowed down the show, and I'm still working it through. Now I have a new director who really helped me kind of cut the fat and really
Mhm.
shape it better. And we're still shaping it even further because it's a lot to fit into 90 minutes. And I don't want to have an intermission or anything like that. I really want
Mhm.
it to flow. And so um I didn't realize how challenging it was going to be to do all that talking and then sing full songs and then and still kind of be entertaining and all of that. It's
Mhm.
very challenging, and I won't change a thing. I love the journey of making it happen. So where we are now with all that, and I'm trying not to be too long-winded as if it's possible at this point.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
What I'm trying to do, is get the show narrow to a place that still is honoring the story, but it's still telling the important details of it whilst being entertaining. Yeah.
Yeah.
So now I'm looking to put it in a theater because
Mm.
now where you saw it is more like a cabaret kind of thing, and I'm ready to move it out of there now and get it
Mhm.
into a theater and do a run, a real proper, maybe a month run, maybe. So I'm looking now at some different theaters. Anybody hear me out there?
That's right. That's
Holler at
right.
me or Melissa. Let us know if you're interested. So I'm now shopping my trailer, and so people could see what it's about, and maybe it'll get picked up. Hopefully, I'm trying to shop it to some streaming networks,
Mm.
and see if like a Netflix would be interested or an HBO or whatever, because it's definitely, I think, I do everything for a reason, and I'm
Yes.
doing this because I think that it's going to help a lot of people, because I
Yes.
wish that um well, now I think it's more people are speaking about their stories, and that's getting easier. But you have a lot of people that are living in fear, living in pain, living, just fear of judgment, fear of
Mhm.
failure, fear, you know
Yeah.
what I mean, or just and that can be very debilitating and crippling.
Yes.
So this story, I'm telling it as honest as I can because I think that it could save some people, and for
Mhm.
maybe some parents out there that might have children that are like me at the time, that didn't know sexually where they were, that didn't know career wise, or you trying to appease your family and your church or whomever, and you
Mhm.
end up kind of living in a prison. And so I
Yes.
think that it can help some people.
Yeah,
So,
absolutely, absolutely. When you
mhm.
were speaking, Kelly, and you mentioned the theater, I immediately saw you in Circle in the Square Theater. Immediately
Wow.
saw you there.
Wow. You must tell me more about it later, and I'll reach out and see if they'll have me do my run there.
Yeah, it's amazing. You're right in the center of the theater and everyone is around you.
That's what I
So,
always wanted.
yes, I saw it clear as day, clear as
Oh
day.
my,
So,
like, you don't even understand. When we were originally doing this, I almost did it in my house because I wanted it to be that. I didn't want to be on a stage like that. I wanted it to be like I'm my like people are in my living room and I'm
mhm.
talking to you, and it's very kind of interactive. That's what I wanted, but it ended up going on a stage, and I don't want to feel like I'm up here and everybody's there. I don't like that. I like to feel like, because I am the people and the people are me,
Yes,
and I
yes.
want it to feel like that. So I don't want to be up there, and I don't want to be. I'm not looking for adoration. You
Yeah.
understand? And, oh my God, like praise me, I'm so amazing. That's not what I want.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. Yep. So we're putting it out there in the universe. We're
yes,
putting
thank
it
you,
out there. This or something better. It's going to happen. The
thank
wheels are
you,
already in motions. I feel it so strongly.
thank you for
So
that.
Kelly, before we move to joy questions, what else are you up to and how can people support you?
Wow. Okay. Well, I did a small tour with my other band, Count Basic, and I just got home from that. Excuse me. So I'm the rest of the month, I head back out at the end of the month. I head on out to Switzerland, and in the meantime, this last 2 weeks while I'm home, what I'm trying to do is just finish up some projects that I'm doing with some producers that are pretty amazing. I have a project with a wonderful producer named Michael Gray. Then I
Mhm.
have other things that I'm doing with real people and other remixes that I'm doing of other songs. And I'm here in my studio office. I have everything in this studio. If I turn this camera around, it's like shoes, wigs, books. On this side is the studio equipment. On the other side is like what's happening over there? And
I
then
see that red guitar in the background.
yeah, I attempt to play guitar, like, and my congas, I play congas too, and they're out in the hallway. It's just like this place is just like a crazy museum. But anyway, so I'm doing this thing in Switzerland called Little Big Beat. I don't know if you've ever heard
Mm.
of it, but it's
Mm-mm.
fantastic. I'm doing it with my band Count Basic, and what it is you do a recording in the studio with an audience, and you do it old style, like to 2-inch tape, while the engineer and producer stay in the control booth,
Mm-hmm.
and you're in the main room with an audience, and then at the end they produce a vinyl from it, and
Wow.
it's like one shot. You don't stop and start. It's not like in the studio, like, oh, take it back. I'm the queen of that. Stop, 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 stop. If I hiccup or burp, I'm like, okay, stop, stop, stop. You can't do that now. You just gotta just plow through. So we're doing that, and then some other shows over there, and then I'm coming back, and then in September I'm going on tour with Incognito, and
Mm-hmm.
then right after that I go back into Dancing with the Stars. And then in between all of that, I'm still doing other recordings and finishing up. I never stop recording and I never stop
Mm-hmm.
writing. I try to just keep, because like you hear it always in your head. It's like something you can't really shut off. It's the
Mm-hmm.
it's a bizarre thing.
Mm-hmm.
It's just kind of like you could just be singing, and any given moment some melodies pop into my brain, and I'm just like,
Yeah.
and so then I come in here and start putting it down. And so
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to continue with that, and then continue shopping my show,
Yes.
which now you just put it in the universe, and we're going to do this thing.
Yes. Circle in a square.
Yeah. So
KelliSae.
yeah.
Yes.
So that's what I'm doing. And just really trying to take care of my body, take care of
Mm-hmm.
my mind more, because
Mm-hmm.
I'm really good at like being super busy. I'm
Mm-hmm.
I'm like there's a book called Driven to Distraction, and where you busy yourself so much. So I want to make sure that all the busy that I am is in a positive way. It's not busy like in a, you're busy, but
Yeah.
you know what
What
I
are you
mean?
doing? Right.
Yes,
Right.
busy with what?
Right. Right.
Is this nurturing? Is this, is, even if it's something as simple as what we talked about the other day, cleaning up your closet or cleaning
Mm-hmm.
out a cupboard or whatever it is, that declutterization really is helpful to your mind and to
Yes.
your energy around you. And
Yes.
I know you connect with that. So
Yes. Absolutely. Absolutely.
Mhm.
Everything in alignment. Right. If it's not in alignment, then goodbye.
Right,
Goodbye.
right.
Yes. Yes. All right, Kelli. Well, and support. So, one, whoever has a hookup at Circle in the Square Theater, big support there.
Yeah.
How else can folks support you?
Well, you can send me. I'm just kidding. Support me. I mean, the best way I think is to go to my social media at KelliSae on Instagram, or I just started my little TikTok account, which, I'm not the best social media person, because I feel like I don't know. Sometimes I feel like what I'm doing is kind of like not interesting enough to put up anywhere to talk about. And I see
Girl.
people posting all kind of stuff, and I'm just like, I don't know. And I just like feel like, oh, is this frivolous? So, but I am trying to be more social in that way, because I do want to hear from everybody, and I do
Yeah.
appreciate the support on all the levels. And I do, above everything, understand how none of this would be possible for me without the support of people like you, and of people who are like subscribing to my music and subscribing
Yeah.
to my channels and on my Spotify and all those things. And so as an indie artist, I do need that support. So
Yes.
I'm grateful for it. And anytime anybody reaches out to me, I try to respond personally and that kind of thing. So, on my social media or on my website, join my mailing list is cool too. And that's how I appreciate the support. So
Wonderful. All right. So, you all know what we need to do to support KelliSae. Let's get into some joy questions. So, the first one, Kelli, is what does joy look or feel like for you?
woohoo! Joy looks and feels to me like peace. Feels
Mm,
like peace,
mm,
especially inner peace. and
yes.
and in being satisfied with knowing that I'm enough.
Yes, yes. Oh, I resonate with that so much.
And
So,
I get emotional when you say,
okay, let me go to the next question quickly then.
yeah, I'm okay. I'm always crying, Melissa.
I say I'm living life in joy. What are you living life in?
Um, in gratitude and in
Oh,
and in really trying to appreciate the moments, all of them,
yes,
because they move
yes.
fast. And I think as creatures, what we do the most, and I'm super guilty of this too, is comparison. You
Mm,
know, and I think that what's that saying? Comparison is the thief of joy.
mm-hmm,
And I really believe that. I think that, you know, you're doing something and you're just like, oh, that'd be great, but it would be so much better if it were.
mm-hmm.
Someone says, oh, that tastes amazing. That's great, but do you think it's too much salt? You just keep, you know, it's just
Right.
like how to appreciate and be grateful of all the moments,
All the
because
moments.
yeah, even the ones that maybe are not so favorable, because those are lessons too, you know, and
Absolutely.
reminders of how you should be more appreciative of when it's is really great, you know,
Yes,
how much
yes.
worse it could be. So
Yes, living life in gratitude. Yes. The last question, and this one is always a little challenging for my artists. But what is your joy song and why?
oh goodness, you know, I don't really find that difficult, in as much as my joy song changes all the time. I don't, you
Mhm.
know, it changes on my mood. So
Mhm.
like today, what's giving me the most joy is Jose James, Live Your Fantasy. I love
Mm.
that song. Gonna fight up, gonna make it right, gonna hit the floor, get down tonight. And it's just like, and it's a oh 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 oh, hey. It's got something that's so good. And so that's that. And another day it could be NDRE, like brown skin. Another day it could be Stevie Wonder ass. Another day, you know, it
Yes.
totally is depending upon, like yesterday was Kenny Barron, all day Kenny Barron. Just listening to that all day. And that was just feeding me, listening to that
Yes.
beautiful piano and sonatos, like, ah.
Beautiful. Well, you just got a little taste, a little taste, a little snippet of Kelly's voice, and it is magnificent. She's the lead vocalist on Dancing with the Stars. So when that comes back on, you could check her out there.
Whew,
But
yeah.
follow her on her Instagram, follow her in everything that she does.
Thank you.
Kelly, thank you so much for
Thank
blessing
you.
us with your gifts and your wisdom and your presence. I so appreciate
Thank
it.
you. Mwah. Same to you.
Mwah. Love you, girl.
You too.
All right, y'all. All right. Isn't she fabulous? So please support KelliSae on Instagram and stay tuned when her one woman show comes back out. I'm telling you, you do not want to miss it. And just know with me that it will be at the Circle in the Square on Broadway. And so it is. And so yes, fireworks for that. So thank you all for joining me today for Living Life in Joy. You can join me Monday through Fridays, 10:30 a.m. Eastern Time for morning inspiration with Sip with Rev Melissa. SIP stands for Spirit and Practice because it's all a practice. Practice makes progress. All right, y'all. Have a wonderful Sunday. Celebrate your fathers or your father figures. Celebrate Juneteenth. Know that you are free. Know that you are free. Peace and blessings, peace and justice. We're living life in joy, connected to our yes.